I'm so glad you said that, because as you were talking about that, I thought, you know what? This is a great beer to have in the morning.
Yeah,
this is
Belgian waffles with syrup and salty, meaty bacon on the side.
Pints and Pairings is brought to you in part by We're Driving and The Beer Cave. Learn more about our sponsors at hopheadshead.com/pints-and-pairings. Okay, welcome back to Pints and Pairings. I'm Curtis Salem, also known as Hopheads Head.
And I'm Jason Hendrick with Everybody's Hungry.
We are here at Brew with the View, a part of the Ventura County Beer Week festivities. We're at the tavern. Did I just say that?
You did say
and
you just said that.
Yeah, I just said that. And I've already forgotten it. We have just stumbled through 18 minutes of gold in our opener. But we managed in the break to get a beer.
We're caught back up. We're relaxed now. It's going to be pristine.
Have a bite to eat. So we ended up going over to Island Brewing Company.
Yeah. We went to Island Brewing Company, who's partnered up with the Watermark.
Island is pouring their avocado honey ale, and just so you know, it is made from honey, not
avocado honey.
Yeah,
not avocado and honey.
So next time you I don't know how many times I had to they had to tell me that, but
yeah,
it's finally sunk in.
Rob definitely reinforced that numerous occasions.
Right. So, and then it was paired with a Gorgonzola shrimp deep fried egg roll.
Yeah, which was actually really nice. You know, when I first read shrimp and Gorgonzola in an egg roll, I was a little skeptical because Gorgonzola can be really intense and pungent. I love it, but when you encapsulate it in a tiny little vessel like that next to shrimp, you know, you have the potential of that briny intensity of the shrimp, and then that really pungent, almost metallic sometimes Gorgonzola, because depending on how much Gorgonzola is in there. But it was pretty nice, and he topped it with an interesting kind of sweet, almost
cocktail-ish.
Yeah, cocktail-inspired ketchup kind of thing. And I think just to jump right into the two beers together, or the two pairings together, I think that sweet, almost cocktail-y spice sauce worked really well with this avocado honey ale, because it brought out some more of those citrus notes and a little bit of that lemon sour punch and a little pinch of grass for me that really kind of dumbed down the sweetness that I normally would get out of this ale.
For me, I thought the sweetness of the deep fried wonton and the base malt that's used in this, you know, a very pale malt that was used in this beer. In fact, if I remember right, was this the honey blonde? Their blonde.
Talking about it for original base recipe?
Base recipe.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
So either way, it's a very light flavored base malt, which went well with it. I think also just that a tiny bit of, I don't know. I always think of shrimp as, you know, as this savory kind of thing. But for me, there's still
a natural sweetness to shrimp.
There's that underlying sweetness in there, and I think that helped to kind of tie the two together. I wasn't as thrilled about the sauce, other than it was a really nice cleanser.
I agree with that. I think it worked. The other piece that wasn't necessarily a natural integration, but I thought really helped the two come together, was the little microgreens that he put underneath the egg roll. There's a little pinch of spice and pepper from those microgreens that added to the ale. Again, bringing out some of those spicier, grassy notes and keeping some of the sweetness at bay, because you're getting that out of the food partner.
Right. And then as we're sitting here, when we finished up our bites, you know, they'd been hauling desserts past us through the beginning part through our opener, and I was eyeballing some things. You picked out the white chocolate macadamia nut cookie.
I did, and the reason I did that, and hopefully I'm correct in your eyes. I still think I'm correct in the way I'm tasting it.
But I don't get what you think, man.
But the reason I picked that is I thought there's quite a few items over there with chocolate or heavy like icing, and I knew that was going to really just crush the delicate nuances of some of those lighter wheat notes and some of those little flavors that would come out of the beer. So this one I thought would be a little more delicate. There'd be some similar notes. And I think the beer, so before we were talking about how the egg roll kind of helped the beer. In this case, I think the beer helps the cookie. For me, it brings out more of that great buttery, sugary note, that almost shortbread kind of component that you're getting out of this base cookie.
Well, one of the first things when I looked over there was a shortbread cookie that's dipped in chocolate. And, your comment was right away, the chocolate's going to kill that beer. And you're absolutely right. That's what's nice about this cookie is it has that shortbread-esque sort of flavor. I think the white chocolate, actually, I don't think the white chocolate goes well with the beer. The macadamia nuts on the other hand, I think it was just as fantastic that it seemed like there was a little bit of salt, and all that could have been in the dough and everything else. Or they could have used lightly salted macadamia nuts, too. I don't know. I mean, that seems like...
Either way would have been a good choice.
That seems like a good way to go. And then it just got me thinking about all of the macadamia nuts with relatives.
You got a grin going on.
Who come in and out from Hawaii occasionally.
I feel like a blurry moment, and in the post-production, some kind of click over to a beach scene in Hawaii. I can tell that you're starting to get a little nostalgic.
But I think the macadamia nut has the components that we were talking about with the egg roll too, and the shrimp is that there's this little bit of sweet, then you've got this kind of savory, nutty, oily kind of feeling, and then there was the salt. Now wherever the salt was coming from, that worked really well for me.
I'm intrigued too. I'm gonna have to try another bite, but I'm intrigued by your thought that the white chocolate didn't work as much. Maybe that's for me what's enhancing some of that buttery shortbread note. I don't want to lose sight of that egg roll though, because again, the chef Gary Daniels put a really cool spin on an egg roll, and the combination of the ingredients I thought was fun. Looking at shrimp and gorgonzola, there was a creaminess to it that you normally would get like out of a crab wonton, but with now you got the shrimp added in there. There's some texture, and I love egg roll in general. A great portable vessel with some crispiness and any kind of cool ingredients in there is going to be a win in my book. Very similar to burritos, but on a mini scale.
There it is, mini scale. It's a teeny tiny deep fried burrito.
Yes,
I like that. Asian burrito. All right, I think we hit this one. We were looking to try and keep it just at 7 minutes. It's 7
because we have much more to taste, both on the beer side and the food side, and there's a whole plate of desserts that we've taken samples of right here in front of us.
Right. So we made sure we got the desserts before anyone else, before they started.
All the people that paid $50 a person are looking over like, dude, that guy's got a whole cupcake.
Look at that.
And
I know. I felt bad. If there had been somebody there for me to have that, then I would. But, there's two of us here.
And then it would have distorted the decoration. I don't feel bad because one of the beauties of being the radio celebrities that we wish we were at this event is that we get ahead of the line sometimes.
That's right. Well, let's take a break. Seems like a good enough
Down
place.
with it.
So, take a look through all the Brew with the Views, whether it was from last year or this year.
Maybe be cautious in your comparison though, because last year was our first Brew with a View, and we've definitely improved in this year.
So. Definitely. All right, so we'll catch you at the next pour.
Yeah. Hey, we don't want them to eat, drink, and be happy.
Yeah, okay. That's you.
See you next pour. Cheers.
Pints and Pairings is brought to you in part by The Beer Cave, located at 231 Village Commons Boulevard in Camarillo, California.
If you prefer a cocktail or some vino, this neighborhood market also has a great selection of premium spirits and wine, along with an attached deli for a quick sandwich to go.
When you stop in, be sure to mention that you heard about them right here on the Pints and Pairings Show, and maybe grab a sandwich for me on your way out.